What's up, everybody? It's Chibi, and today I'm going to be doing a manga chapter review of Hunter x Hunter chapter 345. Almost caught up. I think I have 4 chapters left and I'm officially caught up. So, this chapter of Hunter x Hunter. Pariston. His dialogue in this chapter scares me for multiple reasons. I think 2 chapters ago when I did 2 reviews ago, I talked about Pariston with how he cherishes things he loves, what he does to things he loves. Like, he abuses and hurts and destroys things he really loves. Pariston even stated this, and even Jin also talked about this, I think a couple chapters back. Well, with this chapter, Pariston says something that scared the living fuck out of me. He said that he was experiencing hatred. And he says in his inner monologue, this is probably the first time he has ever hated someone to this extent. Pointing this hatred towards Jin. And he goes further than that. This hatred that Pariston talks about, he says like he doesn't even know what he will do. Like, he doesn't have any idea what he's capable of. Since he is so angry, he's so pissed off. He has hatred for Jin. And it scares the fuck out of me. Because this is a dude that stated a couple chapters back he would destroy an organization if he loved it. If he loves something, he will destroy it, pretty much. Twisted love. And this, right here, this, I don't even want to know what a man is capable of when he will say things about stuff he loves. Imagine what a man is capable of the things he hates. That, in perspective, is scary as shit. Pariston is scary as shit. And with this chapter, it sets up something I know that is going to go down. Pariston and Jin. They're definitely going to have a battle. It's obvious. It's just straight out obvious. They've been having mind games and manipulating each other and playing behind the scenes since the election arc. That's exactly what they've been doing. And with this chapter, with Pariston being pissed off and having hatred towards Jin, since he has technically the same thought process as him, this is just the starting embers of something that is really going to happen. Like, something very bad that's going to happen in the future. Probably somewhere in the Dark Continent. I sense Pariston trying to do some shady shit, messing with some plans, and he's going to try to kill Jin off, or do something. Because the reason why Pariston is so pissed off, and why he is so angry, is because of the similar thought process of Jin. Jin is literally thinking the same way as Pariston. And the other thing is Jin comes in, and he is literally taking over the entire operation that Pariston and Beyond has set up. That's pretty much what Jin is doing. He's coming in and saying, like, I'll pay you double. We already knew this. He's coming in trying to pay everybody double, and he says, I'm number 2. He wants to be number fucking 2, and he's putting Pariston down. And the thing is, with this entire aspect, he's literally gaining control of the entire operation, this operation and this voyage to the Dark Continent. That's exactly what Jin is doing. And in this eyes, he is messing with Pariston's overall goals. Pariston wanted to actually control the entire group behind the scenes. He wanted to control everything behind Beyond. And that is what he wants to do. But with Jin here, he is fucking that entire plan up, and it's pissing Pariston off completely. And that is why he has so much hatred. And I'm like, oh my god, for this dude, like I said, if this is a dude that can kill something and he will destroy things he loves, what is a person capable of something he hates? I don't even want to imagine the wrath of someone like that. I don't. That's fucking scary as shit. And with this, it's definitely going to come a time, probably a while from now. It probably could be hundreds of chapters if Togashi ever starts writing chapters again. Hundreds of chapters from now, that Pariston will backstab or stab Jin in the back, or even probably try to kill Gon. It's a possibility. But this is definitely going to be something that is going to happen. That is definitely a massive plot point that's just been dropped on top of us in this chapter. Because, I mean, with the overall finding out the entire amount that Jin is actually paying, like, there's some person, I forget the exact number, but there's a person, like the operatives, like these Neo freaking Zodiacs, they're getting paid, like, 1 billion each, if I'm correct, $1 billion fucking each, and Jin is, like, you know, doubling this, and I'm like, holy, that is insane. I don't know if that's exactly each individual member, but holy hell. 1 billion. Dude. Jin is fucking rich. That's just straight out. He is rich. He is... Holy crap. He has to be one of the richest people in the entire series. He definitely has to be one of the richest because of that. For someone to be able to throw around money like that and double it, that's ridiculous. That's just absolutely ridiculous. So... one thing I wanted to actually mention with this, okay? The beginning part of the chapter. Gon has a little bit of focus in the first, like, 5 or 6 pages of this chapter. Gon cannot see his nin. It was kind of stated in the last chapter, but it wasn't really covered that much to a really extreme extent. But in this chapter, it confirms a couple of things. It confirms that Gon is not going to have any part to play in the Dark Continent for a very long time at the very least. It'll have to be, like, towards the end of the arc, if he does play a part. Because in this chapter, Gon says he has no goal. And this is actually kind of obvious, because the conclusion of the anime, when we watch the anime, I remember stating, like, Gon lost his goal. He finally accomplished his goal. Like, he met his father. He got to meet him. The goal he set out to do since the very beginning of the first episode, he accomplished it when he met his father. That was the in-game goal, and he accomplished this. And now, what is his objective? What's reason to carry on? And so, now, what Gon is doing is to find his next goal. And Jin actually gives him a little bit of advice, actually what a father should do, and say, you're now in the normal realm again. You're normal. You know, have some fun, take a break, have fun, live your life, you know? And pretty much, Gon is having to hunt down a new goal. But while he does this, he goes back to where he was raised, where he was born at, and he goes back to where he was. And he's given all these books and textbooks to actually study, like 4 semesters worth of textbooks he is behind, and he has to work in these, and he's going to be, you know, studying. Now, this right here actually has me very intrigued, because I wonder if the reason why maybe Togashi did it like this, the way he's forcing Gon to have textbooks and all that, and since technically he got rid of his nin, like he can't really see his nin, is because he wants Gon to actually gain intelligence. Because clearly, brute strength is not just going to cut it anymore. Brute strength is not the only answer to this series. I mean, let's be honest, okay? I mean, Gon was a fucking monster when he transformed and beat the shit out of Pito. I mean, Pito... I feel sorry. I felt sorry for Pito. I do, honestly. At the end of the day, I feel very bad for Pito, what happened to her. But brute strength, even though it's so amazing, can't cut it. It can't. You have to have intelligence. You have to have smarts, brain smarts, book smarts. You need to know how to plan strategies. And this is something Gon, since the very beginning, actually has lacked as a main character. I mean, he's a good character, but he has never been the smartest character when it comes to plans overall. And so, if Togashi is taking the time for Gon to take the time to study and get intelligent and probably get at the level where his father is, or Pariston, then by all means, I am fine with Gon being completely out of this arc, this upcoming Dark Continent arc, for a long time, if he will mature and develop as a better character, because that's definitely the best next step forward for Gon's character. He needs to get intelligence, because, let's go figure, okay, as a shonen, like majority of shonen series, how many characters do we kind of see like Gon? Let's be honest, okay? I mean, let's look past the aspects of what happened in the Chimera Ant arc. I'm talking about, like, the overall basic setup of his character. Like, the beginning, first episode, basic setup. Gon is like a standard shonen character. He's not that intelligent as a lot of characters, okay? I can name quite a few. And if Togashi writes it that Gon actually gains intelligence, I will be shocked. It would be phenomenal, because seeing a character as a main character of a shonen actually gain intelligence instead of just brawn fighting ability, I would be happy. I would be absolutely happy if Togashi takes it that route, but we'll have to see. Now, one thing, moving on. I want to move on to the next section I want to talk about. Okay, so, the Prince of Kakin. That dude is fucked up. Like, holy shit. That dude is nasty. This prince called in 2 girls. And supposedly what he said, the girls only wanted to sleep with him, pretty much. He called these 2 girls in. He's a prince. And we don't see what really happens. As time progresses, a couple panels later, as he's in a nude and he's taking a bath, we see blood all on the floor. And he's talking about art. He's talking about the brilliance of art. Like, he likes the expressions of, like, fear and malice and stuff on the faces of his art. He loves that. And he has to kill. He kills for his art. And I'm thinking, like, Kurapika is actually going to be going up against someone like this. I'm like, what the fuck? This dude is demented. He is disgusting. A dude that is messing with people and turning them into art. Like, we didn't get to see an actual image of whatever the art looked like. Probably too graphic for a shonen. I want to be honest. If, Togashi would have showed something like that, let's be honest. If you would have shown, like, a grotesque art of put the fucking together, I can just already imagine something from, like, Psycho-Pass. I'm actually thinking of Psycho-Pass right now from the first season of Psycho-Pass. That art, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what idea and thought I'm thinking in my mind. That's what I'm thinking in my mind about whatever that dude was probably doing to those girls. He probably put their body parts together, formed them together and all that, and probably made some form of horrific-looking art. And if that is, that's like on seinen level. The seinen level, because of how mature that is, because of how dark it is, how that content technically should not be for young children. Technically, shonens are supposed to be for children. And if that really, that's pushing the level of seinen. I mean, Hunter x Hunter, actually, go figure, has always pushed the level of seinen for a while now. And if that really was shown, I would have been, like, questioning, like, holy shit, this should be a seinen. But anyways, this dude kills things. Like, he kills people for his art, and Kurapika's, having to get this dude to get the eyes back. In the ending dialogue of this chapter, Kurapika says that he's came in contact with 2 different people that he's had to get the eyes from, and he's caused it to where he managed to convince 2 different people to give him the eyes, when they wouldn't give him the eyes. So, right there, we don't know exactly what Kurapika actually did. Probably some dark shit, I want to say, because, I mean, look what he did to the Phantom Trope. I mean, look what he did, okay? So, I want to bet it'll be something pretty freaking nuts, okay? I don't know what type of, like, state of mind Kurapika's in at the moment, at this point in the series. I mean, it's been a while since we've actually seen him mobilize and move in the series. We don't know how far he has gone, either with sanity or insanity. We don't know how sane he is at this point, and he could just be going on that ship and kill that dude on fucking sight. But it's still the point of this dude is freaking, like, demented and evil for him to kill people and to turn them into art. So, I don't know if Kurapika's ever came in contact with someone like this, but it raises a lot of questions. So, moving on. I want to move on past this entire part. Beyond. Beyond is someone I actually want to talk about right now. A contract is made, and all the specifics to Beyond is told to in this chapter. Supposedly, from what this chapter states, is that Beyond is going to be under 24-hour surveillance. And supposedly, this room is specialized where he can be watched for 24 hours. And if he's to leave this room, he will have to have multiple, like, supervisors follow him around. And at all times, he will have to wear a tracking ring. A tracking ring on his finger, some form of finger that can track his entire location. It's a double safety block from Beyond escaping. And even past that, from what Beyond states, is like, okay, supposedly, from what I can see here, I cannot oppose the organization, I cannot oppose anybody whatsoever, and I have to follow the rules, or pretty much, it's pretty logical why you would do this, because, I mean, I can't supposedly go grab things, like, out of the Dark Continent and claim it for myself. I have to give all the property I find in the Dark Continent to the V5, or V6 now, since it's about to become the V6. So, pretty much, from this contract, Beyond signed it. But there's a lot of setup in this chapter when it comes to that contract. Cheadle is confronted with something very dark, some dark information in this chapter. V5, I think it's the V5 that I was talking, like the higher-ups of the V5, or before they became the V6. V5 told Cheadle that if Beyond escapes, and you can't capture him, and he gains some form of territory, and he takes something back to his continent, like, where his place is, Kakin, And he claims it. You can think that everybody is dead. You can count yourself from ever seeing sunlight over. That's exactly what was said in this chapter. That's what one of the, main higher-ups, the politicians of the V5 said. And I'm thinking, holy shit. So these people, these politicians, are telling the organization that they have people that can silence them and destroy them, kill them, if they fell from keeping Beyond in check. And that right there sets up a lot of things, too. Because we know for a fact Beyond is going to try to break out of this contract. As soon as he gets to Dark Continent, he's like, fuck you. That's exactly what Beyond is going to do. He's going to say, fuck you, organization, fuck you, V5, fuck you, V6. He's just going to run. He's going. He's gone. That's what he's going to do. This is a dude that freaking went to the Dark Continent on a path that was never taken before. And he brought back the zombie disease. So, yeah. This Beyond is going to try to escape, and which in turn is going to lead into consequences with the organization probably getting hunted down by the top politicians. So yeah, this is very bad. There's a lot of setup in this chapter, because you have the entire aspect of the Nin with Gong. Gong can't see his Nin anymore, so he's reset back to before he trained with Wing, which is pretty insane. It's set before that. It's also the setup with Pariston and his hatred, which Jin taking control of the entire organization, pretty much, of the Neo Zodiacs and stuff, and he's controlling them because he doesn't want Pariston manipulating things behind the scene. You have the aspect with the prince, this corrupt prince that loves making art. And then you have this segment to where we find out more about Beyond's contract. So the chapter, for the most part, is a lot simpler compared to the last couple chapters I have reviewed, but this chapter, once again, a lot of information and a lot of questions, because Togashi is setting up something massive right now. Very, very massive setup that makes me wonder what is going to happen. So, overall, wonderful chapter, great chapter. I mean, once again, personally, 9 out of 10. It was a great chapter. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below, how you felt about this chapter of Hunter x Hunter. I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.